So, Vice President Biden has thrown his big, old, dusty, creepy hat into the ring. I wanted to do this last week, but Joe got bumped for, what was, me to answer a question about systems. And then I had to talk about the girl with the dog. Joe Biden got bumped for the dog toy dildo. And then I just didn't want to do anything yesterday, so I didn't. I just didn't want to talk about Joe Biden yesterday. I was like, it's Sunday. It's been a good day. Why do I want to get into this shit? But I had to hear about it all day, so here we are, Joe. We're looking at your fucking, your trailer. The trailer dropped today, folks. We're going to watch it.
Charlottesville, Virginia is home to the author of one of the great documents in human history. We know it by heart. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. We've heard it so often, it's almost a cliche, but it's who we are.
You know what I've heard so often, it's almost a cliche? The Democrats bring up the Constitution. It makes me laugh. The party that doesn't really particularly care for your freedom of speech because you offend people when you do that, dumbass. And it doesn't really like your Second Amendment right to bear arms. You know, that's not good because crazy people shoot people. So we can't have all of you having guns because some of you might be crazy people and shoot people. You know, that kind of shit. The party that brings you late-term abortion. You know? And yet, they love to trot out the fucking Constitution. And sometimes when they say it, like, and they get to that all men part, it makes me wonder if they realize that they're reading the American Constitution or if they think it's like the world Constitution. Because, you know, that shit applies to us. It's our Constitution. You know. Yeah, so much it's cliche. And who you are, Joe.
We haven't always lived up to these ideals. Jefferson himself didn't.
You know, I'm not perfect on my recollection of my history of that time. But from what I remember, I believe that Jefferson had problems with the whole slavery thing. I believe that he, Ben Franklin, and yes, I'm remembering this from the musical, and the other guy, Adams, they fucking sang a song about how they didn't want to have slavery. They wanted a fresh start with the new country. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but, you know, it was in there. And the people of the South, which I believe at the time was mostly the Democratic Party, like around about that time. Not then, because there really wasn't much of any parties then, but like that became like the Democrats, right? I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. But they really wanted to keep their non-paid employees, right? So they essentially said, look, you can do this with half a country, or you can do this with a full country. But the only way you get the latter is we keep our people that pick cotton for us. And I believe the decision at the time was, well, we do this now. and then we deal with the rest of it as soon as we possibly can. And I believe that it got to the point where there was actually a war fought over this, right? So, hey, sure, the man had slaves, but from what I understand, he treated them pretty well. I don't know what to tell you.
But we have never before walked away from them.
I know. And that's why it's so weird to see so many Democrats being socialists now.
And that's when we heard the words of the President of the United States that stunned the world and shocked the conscience of this nation. He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both sides?
Now I'll say this. I'm not entirely sure what I felt at the time. But I will say now that I believe that was a mistake. I honestly think that he shouldn't have said there's very fine people on both sides. I think he should have said they're all assholes. All of them. Every one of them. All of them that are down there fighting and fucking around, they're all assholes. Every single one of them. They're all assholes. Everybody down there. Sorry folks, they're all assholes. If you're down there for the protest, it's because you're an asshole. One group is assholes. They don't like people because of a certain thing that can't be controlled by that person. That makes them an asshole. I don't like you because you're black. You don't even know me. I don't care. I already know enough about you because you're black. Oh, so you're an asshole. Okay. Like, they're assholes, right? And then another group of assholes said, we're going to go down there and pick a fight with those assholes. So they went down there and picked a fight with those assholes. That kind of makes them assholes. Because they didn't like them. Because they didn't want to fucking like people that are different than them. And they didn't like them so much that they decided to do something about it other than ignore them. See, for a very long time, we ignored the racists. And we got it to the point where there really wasn't very many fucking racists left. Like, I remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, I remember the discussion being, where did all the racists go? Because it's difficult to be racist against your neighbor, your sister's husband, your friend at work, your co-worker, your whatever, the girl at the fucking McDonald's counter. Like, it's really difficult to be racist against those people when you have good interactions with those people. Right? So when you know a whole lot of people, like the people that the silly people just don't like for arbitrary fucking reasons, all of a sudden you go, it's dumb. And we got to the point where we were winning. We were winning through attrition. We didn't care about them. We ignored them. Fuck them. Who cares? They're racist. What else do you need to know? You know they're assholes. And that's where we were. And then all of a sudden the big thing became racism again. And everybody was racist all of a sudden. And now you're racist even if you're just saying shit that I don't like. And everybody was just racist. And it made a bunch of people go, well, fuck it. If I'm going to be in trouble for it, then goddamn it, might as well do it. And a whole lot of people went fucking crazy over the shit. And now we got fucking racists marching again. We were winning. And then all of a sudden everything became racism. And now we're losing. What happened? But anyways, they were all assholes. He should have came out and said they're all assholes. But when you're president of the United States, you can't really come out and tell that kind of a harsh truth. I imagine he probably said to the advisors when they said, what are you going to say about this thing in Charlottesville? He probably said, I'm going to say they're all assholes. Because they're all assholes. And they went, you can't say that because a girl died. And if you say they're all assholes, you're going to kind of be including the girl that died. And he's like, well, look. These people wanted to go out and do a protest. These other people wanted to go out and stop them from doing protest by force if necessary. So I don't want to vilify the one side because they were having a peaceful protest that the other side came to stop. So when you're in a situation like that, you can't say they're all assholes, but you don't want to say one side's bad because they weren't doing nothing, and the other side's good because they came to fight with the people who weren't doing anything because they didn't like the certain brand of nothing they were doing. When you're in that kind of a situation, you go, there's good people on both sides, but they're all kind of assholes. I don't know. Like, it's politics, man. It sucks. Because you lose no matter what. You're dealing with shit tons of people. And you lose no matter what. So which side do you go with? And frankly, I was pleased that he kind of just went, instead of going, yeah, fuck all the racists. Because then I'm like, oh. Because then that's just going to encourage them to shut down everything they say is racist. Well, Ben Shapiro's going to go and talk there. Well, the president said that's racist. So, yeah, you're really in a no-win situation when you're dealing with extremists at all sides.
With those words, the President of the United States assigned a moral equivalence between those spreading hate and those with the courage to stand against it.
So, here's what Joe Biden has picked now. Joe Biden, for those of you in the audience who might be going, you're just explaining away with Donald Trump's racism. Here's the thing. So there you go. Joe Biden, right, says what you wanted the president to say. The racists are bad, Antifa heroes. Right? That's what you wanted him to say. The racists are bad, Antifa are heroes. Well, let's check out the heroes. Now, who are the heroes? Honestly, who are the heroes? Now, depending on which side you're on, you and the audience, you're here. You've gone so far down the rabbit hole that you wound up running into my fucking obscure ass. Right? You know what's going on there. You know Antifa and the racists beat up all the Antifa because they're terrible, terrible people. Right? And their racism will just overcome all obstacles because the idea is just so powerful. Whatever. So, yeah. But show that to somebody who has no fucking clue who I am. Show that to somebody who has no fucking clue who Sargon, Bering, or any of these fucking people. Show it to your random everyday person who isn't a fucking YouTube watcher like crazy, or they watch the cat videos or the funny shit, right? Or they look up the videos or whatever. Show it to one of them and ask them who the heroes are. Now what you see there is you see one side who looks like a bunch of fucking good old boy rednecks, right? And they're out and they're, American Day best because, you know, every day's American Day. And, right, they're out there with their fucking hacksaw Jim Duggan fucking planks of wood and their American flags, right? They're all wearing bright colors, right? And they're all attacking a large group of people who are all uniformly dressed in black with hoods up and masks on. And the bright, colorful, flag-waving good old boys put the beat down on all of the black-clad, masked people. Who do you think they're going to think the winner is? Who's the good guy? And by the way, Joe, the reason why your heroes are all clad in black with hoods and masks is so that they could be less distinguishable from each other, as to evade the police as they commit crimes. See, that's what happens when you take a hardline stance like that. Yeah, the racists are bad. We all know the racists are bad, but the guys who are actively trying to evade the police with their dress because they know in advance I will be committing crimes when I go out today, I'd better dress appropriately. Fucking idiot.
And in that moment, I knew the threat to this nation was unlike any I had ever seen in my lifetime.
Something tells me that going forward, I will be agreeing with him on all of his points, but for very different reasons.
I wrote at the time that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. Oh, that's even more true today. We are in the battle for the soul of this nation.
Couldn't agree with you more, Joseph.
I believe history will look back on 4 years of this president and all he embraces as an aberrant moment in time.
Sadly, I also agree with that. I don't think that it'll be another 100 years before we have a president like Donald Trump again. And I think that's sad.
But if we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, who we are. And I cannot stand by and watch that happen.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I really agree with him here or not. For the reasons that he's thinking, actually. I don't know if this is all for the better. I think it could be. I think if we didn't have so many crazy people screaming so fucking loud about how everything is so divisive, why can't we all come together? I mean, look, I just don't want to be around white people. Like, as long as we have that kind of shit going on, you know. And I think that Donald Trump fuels that to a degree that has. I mean, I don't even know. You know, it's so difficult to predict what the next non-Donald Trump president is going to be like. But fuck, man, I am not looking forward to it. I must admit, I am not looking forward to it. Because I don't know how the crazies are going to react if they lose again. And I don't know who it's going to be, so I can't even fucking fathom what the new insanity is going to be about, or if it's going to continue or not. I mean, this could be a thing that just spreads from person to person to person. If Mike Pence gets elected next, if it's Don Jr. or fucking Jared Kushner, like, Jesus Christ, can you... So yeah, I'm not really sure even where I stand on this one, Joe. But I'm not as hardcore about it as you are. I'll tell you that.
The core values of this nation are standing in the world our very democracy. Everything that has made America America is at stake.
Yeah, like capitalism.
That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Oh, thank Christ. You know, I wonder if Joe was sitting down with Brock, with Barry, if I may be so bold, sitting there with Barry, and they're, you know, what do you think? What do you think, B? You think, what do you think I should do when I run for president? So, well, you can always tell them you're the Messiah. That's what I did. And they probably had a good laugh about it, but Joe was probably sitting there going, you know, I bet you I could pull that shit off. Thank God Joe's in the race!
Folks, America's an idea. An idea that's stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant.
You're right, Joe. And that one right there, all that you just said, that's all how I know that we're not living in the fucking, the tyranny that you think we're under right now. Because Donald Trump for once decided to be diplomatic and you couldn't fucking take it. You had to say that all of the villain-looking people are all the heroes.
It gives hope to the most desperate people on earth. It guarantees that everyone is treated with dignity.
The American dream, for all the people on earth, guarantees everyone dignity? Huh? It's just American. What is that like? Is that like a nod to the socialists?
And gives hate no safe harbor. It instills in every person in this country the belief that no matter where you start in life, there's nothing you can't achieve if you work at it.
If you work at it? What the fuck? Hey, is that a nod to the fucking conservatives? Oh, man. That's our middle of the road Joe. Yeah. All the people waving American flags, bad motherfuckers. All the people clad in black throwing explosives, they're the good guys. But I'm on everybody's side.
That's what we believe. And above all else, that's what's at stake in this election. We can't forget what happened in Charlottesville. Even more important, we have to remember who we are. This is America.
So another Democrat candidate announces, based on the platform, Donald Trump evil and ruining this country. I will save it. It's a shame that I have no critiques on his platform. Don't know what it is. He never mentioned policy. Just pretty much that Donald Trump's the bad guy and Joe Biden's here to save the day. So we're fucked, I guess. And Joe's gonna save us. Hallelujah. The second coming of Barry Christ. Sorry, Barry Hussein Christ. Whatever, man. Like, dude, Joe Biden is way too old. He's way too male. And he's way too straight. And he's way too white. There's no way that Joe Biden's going to make it all the way. Unless he knows that this is not going to be a race for the really crazy people, because the really crazy people can't win the moderates, and that's 92% of the people who are going to be voting for us. So, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's going to be Bernie Sanders who's going to have all the crazy kids because it's so cool to be with the burn, right? So it's going to be Bernie Sanders against Joe Biden, I think, because all the old Democrats are going to want to Joe Biden it. And all the young Democrats are going to want Bernie Sanders. So it's going to be the young versus old, and by proxy, they will have the two oldest candidates fighting each other for it, which I think makes me laugh. So, yeah, that's my prediction. Yeah, it's early. It's very early. We'll see what happens. Again, it's going to be a wild ride. I can't wait to hear what Joe's policies are going to be. But yeah, he certainly doesn't like Donald Trump. Noted. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be weird because, you know, and here's the thing. Here's going to be the fucking thing. Because they're all children. They're all very, very old children. So if Joe Biden actually does oust President Trump, you know what it's going to be? All of the Republicans are all of a sudden going to want to really look into the Steele dossier and all that kind of shit, and what involvement the White House had in it because of the struck text messages to Lisa Page that say that the White House knew everything was going on. And if the president knows, how much does the vice president know? And could he have been a part of... And we need investigations. And then there's going to be fucking 2 years of investigations into Joe Biden's fucking... Oh my God. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like we're on a fucking freight train going to hell, and there ain't shit we can do about it. We really can't win. Everybody has to pander to the extremes in one way or another. It's very difficult to ride down the middle, because when you try to ride down the middle, it doesn't matter, because people are going to pick at the fucking worst aspect of whatever it is that you say. Because you've rode the middle. You essentially punted it to the audience and said, you figure out what I think. I don't know. There's fine people on both sides. Right? So, Donald Trump punts. Well, there's a lot of people going, well, he's on the side of the racists. He said we're fine people. And then there's a lot of people going, he's on the side of the racists. He said they're fine people. And the wheel goes roundy round. But like I just showed, if you decide to pick a side when both sides are bad, when they're all assholes, look what happens. Oh, so you're with the assholes? Oh. But you don't like the assholes, but you're with the assholes. Gotcha. And not only that, but he picks the side that's obviously the more evil-looking side to the common man. And yeah, that's not Charlottesville footage, that's Portland, I think. But, nevertheless, the Charlottesville footage is just one side of Nazis, and they've all got shields and sticks, and then the other side of dark-clad warriors, you know, the Shadow Clan, you know, they're all out there, and they're all throwing bottles at each other. And they're going to go, well, I don't know. Why is the one side all outfitted in black with hoods and masks? Well, that's so the police can't identify them. Like, oh, okay. Like, and you know what I mean? And they're gonna go, and these guys are the Nazis, huh? Gotcha. And come on, dude. And Joe Biden said these are the heroes. Okay. Like. And if you pick the other side, everybody goes, well, you're siding with Nazis. And you go, yeah, I guess I am kind of siding with the racists. So you can't do that because everybody just knows that's wrong. Like, when did we lose sight of that? How is it that everybody... When did we... It just seems like all of this snuck up and bit me in the ass because I'm still stymied by all... Like, I'm in shock. I got PTSD from all this shit. I just don't know what to make of any of it. Like, it all just seems insane to me. But, whatever, man. It's a big thing to be president, so guess it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever gets you there. Joe Biden, everybody. Chairman Kim, your hair smells great. Give me a hug. No, don't watch the nukes. No, just give me a hug.